Hey guys, StarCraft here, and today we're going to be doing a little something different. Today we're going to be talking about what I call creator comparisons. This is going to be a Talk from the Multiverse. I'm not making it another spin-off, but this one is where I'm going to be talking about two creators that I really like, and basically give my thoughts about what does one do over the other, not which one's better than the other. I am not going there. Alright, especially with not these two. Now, I may be able to do it for other creators, but these two in particular, I'm starting out with my number one and number two favorite creators. You've seen the thumbnail, you already know who they are, but they're Geoff Johns and Scott Snyder. What is there I like about these two guys? They're both great storytellers. I'd include Morrison in this as well, but Morrison is a whole other kettle of fish entirely. He deserves his own special spotlight episode, but these two are just masters of coming up with it and making new ideas, bringing in new concepts in many ways, but there's a significant difference between the two. And first, Geoff Johns, he loves playing with continuity, playing with whatever's come up, that's already been established, trying to take what's already been untapped or utilized or never thought about, but was still within the realm of continuity, and just expand it out into the horizon. You had, for example, Green Lantern. You had the Green Lantern Corps. You had Sinestro with his own ring. Why didn't Sinestro make his own Lantern Corps using his own yellow ring? And then afterwards you're like, well wait, why is it you have Sinestro and the Green Lantern, green and yellow? Those are two of the colors of the rainbow. What about others? And then when Geoff started expanding, you have green is courage or willpower, and yellow is fear. Only makes sense to combine colors with emotions. And what emotions makes it, etc., etc. You get the entire Green Lantern Corps. Mix the Star Sapphires in there with love, which kind of has been all there, but he really didn't emphasize it even more so. And then you take something that Alan Moore left over, was the prophecy of the Blackest Night, and be able to utilize that, etc., etc., moving on. And he's been able to make this huge mythos, utilizing that which was either established or felt like a natural progression. And then, and that's probably the best example, obviously. Flash, he was already playing off a lot of what Mark Waid had already established, and then took it a step further. But Green Lantern's where he really rewrote the mythos entirely. Then you have something like, say, Shazam, where he even more changes it, taking the idea of the Shazam family and actually making a key vital part of the main idea, but reworking in a way that some might say was and others may say it was very good. It's very divisive in that regard, but again, he always tries to come up with these focal points and then try and fit everything around it. Whereas Scott Snyder, on the other hand, he will come up with radically new ideas, but stuff that still fits within the lore of the characters. Like when he did the Court of Owls. He came up with the thought of, what if Batman, there was something out there that even Batman didn't know about? This group out there. And what's been an enemy of bats? Owls. And eventually that was also able to tie back into a prime version of Owlman, and taking the idea of Thomas Wayne Jr. and, well, now we'll never know if he's right that way or not, because the Nightwing crew killed him off, but, it basically took the idea of him having a brother and, through a warp mirror, moving, progressing with that, and at least that's when he started. But as he went on, he started coming up with newer and more and more radical ideas. I mean, how do you handle the Joker? Geoff Johns' Joker is more traditional. Scott Snyder's is more way out there, to the point where I cannot wait for Geoff Johns to finally do the three Jokers, so we can finally see how he would write Scott Snyder's Joker, if at all. Because for one, we don't even know which the Joker is going to appear in which is the one in Doomsday Clock. Is it one of the other two? It's definitely not Scott Snyder's, that's for sure. So yeah, I'm curious on where that's going to go. But again, with both of them, they also have their flaws. Geoff really sometimes goes too far with the continuity porn, big time. And sometimes he'll just flat out disregard certain things, to make his story work. Like when he had the whole counter with Superboy. That totally, yes. And the immediacy of its continuity changing, revealing, oh, it was Lex Luthor and Superman and everything else was a manipulation. But when you really think about it, it doesn't always make sense always. Especially if you were following and you'd be like, wait, what? I get it's trying to make him more tied in with Superman. At the same time, you had all these years of lore buildup that's just tossed aside. Now, when he did Green Lantern again, that kind of worked relatively with what he came up with. Hal was possessed by another entity, Parallax, was able to be, and he's the one who influenced him, but then full on take control of him, causing a lot of the stuff. Yes, even making his hair partially white, trying to reveal, oh, he's not as old as we thought, etc. And, he basically was able to move it and try to redeem Hal, but not fully on just sweep it under the rug. Not entirely, anyway. And yet still bring back the Green Lantern Corps, and yet still have a place for Kyle. I mean, anyone else, as Brad Meltzer said in the intro to the Green Lantern Rebirth trade, would have just paved over. But yeah, with Scott Snyder, though, he has come up with such radical ideas, some of which you really need to pay attention with or focus on, and some of which you wonder if they kind of fit. Like what he's been doing with in Justice League. It's quite clear. He's now rewriting the DC universe. Geoff Johns started Rebirth, but ever since DC Metal, Snyder has really been given the reins entirely lately. I mean, the fact that when you look at his Justice League work, look at how much stuff he is coming up with lately. He brought back the Monitor, someone that we haven't seen since Morrison did stuff with him the group of them during Final Countdown and stuff. Unless you count Nixu Wotan, which is different altogether. But we brought back the Monitor, or the Omni Monitor, as it's now known as. Geoff Johns already dealt with the Anti-Monitor, who knows if he'll be back, but then Snyder introduced the Forger, the guy who created the worlds for the two brothers, the Monitor brothers, to utilize. And now we have Perpetua, the mother of everything, basically. And the Source Wall has been set ablaze. Not sure what that entails entirely. And yet you just have all this stuff going on. You're just like, wow. But at the same time, though, now no one's confirmed where the Justice League stuff stands in relation to Rebirth. We know everything else in relation to Rebirth, but not entirely Justice League, which I can't help but wonder where that's all ever since the No Justice. It seems to be still set pre-Doomsday Clock, but at the same time, though, as Perpetua creation of Manhattan, we still don't know. I don't know if we'll ever get an explanation. Scott, if you're watching this, could you at least give us some details there? But yeah, that's what he comes up with, and a lot of times it's really out there, very radical. And that's good. We need radical. I mean, that's probably the biggest difference between these two is. Geoff, for the most part, plays it safe. Anything that he does do it as a change is still within the confines of what they're doing. Scott, on the other hand, he will entirely just change everything radically or introduce a radical concept, but he's such a great storyteller, he makes it work. It's not like some of those other writers out there, no offense to some of them, but some of them who do it so, I don't want to say half-assed, but definitely not that great, and you feel it. You're like, yeah, I get what they're going for, but it doesn't fit. Whereas Scott usually makes the changes fit. I can go on and on more and more. I mean, another example with Scott, the Batman Who Laughs. A crazy idea of a Jokerized Batman, but they actually emphasize the fact that it's the notion of Batman always wins. So how do you stop a Jokerized, a Joker that's basically running on Batman always wins? Yeah, how do you stop that? And yeah, that's, like I said, I could go on and on more and more, but that's all I really have to say about all this. I could rattle on more. I hope to do other stuff about all this, but I just want to give my own 2 cents on these two guys. Compare, contrast, talk about my gushing love for both of them. So yeah, that's basically all I had to say. Not much else. See you all next time. Take care.